Recently, I was able to start the process of moving out of my parents' house and into my own place for the very first time. The place I'm moving to is a house that has been in my family for years, but really needs someone living in it to take care of it. It's in good shape, but over the years we've been storing more and more of our old stuff in there, particularly mine, with little to no time to organize or declutter it. To be able to live in the house comfortably and really make it my own, I'm gonna have to start taking on that task. And trust me, it's a task. This video is probably going to be the first of many projects tackling said task. Last week, I stayed a couple of days by myself in the house just to get a feel for it and start the work. I decided the project that was going to be the most realistic to handle was dealing with the giant bookcase in my bedroom. It's a bookcase my dad hand-built for me to fit in that room, and it's just been accumulating all the overflow of my books I don't have room for in our other house, along with lots of random crap from over the years, to be honest. Like everything else, it was way past overdue to go through, declutter, and reorganize. But as you'll see, I got it done. After a beautiful morning view, and an even more beautiful top of the morning cup of coffee, of course. So this is what you see when you first enter the room, and I've already been doing some cleaning up down here because I had some stuff under my nightstand and I've been clearing that out. This is stuff that needs to find a home as much of this stuff, once I go through it, declutter it. This whole room needs some desperate TLC, but I'm lucky enough to have a giant bed, really nice nightstand with a really cute lamp, plenty of space once I get all that cleared off. I have this great dresser wardrobe that also needs to be gone through because it's full of old clothes. This needs to be cleaned off. I did get rid of my old air freshener and put in a new one, apple cinnamon. It smells great. It's already helping the room a lot. But what we're going to be tackling today is this. My giant bookcase that, as you can see, is full to the brim. Kind of, at least because things are oddly placed. I'm definitely not utilizing this space in the way that I should be. This house has been mainly used for storage, kind of. Or at least moving stuff out. So a lot of this stuff just needs to be gone through. Even if it meant something to me at the time, now if I go through it, I'll probably be ready to get rid of it, ready to donate it, give it away, whatever. Even with the stuff that I'm keeping, though, this whole thing needs to be desperately rearranged to actually make use of the space. Because as you can tell, I have a lot more books that need to be put up. A lot. I do mean a lot. So while this whole house is going to be a work in progress, which I am very much looking forward to, today I am mostly focusing on this. Taking everything off the bookshelf, going through it, and just trying to organize it the best that I can in the time I have today. As well as just some general cleaning up. This is gonna be so much fun because I'm short. I am horrified of what spiders may be lurking up here. If a spider jumps out at me, I'm calling the whole thing off. It's done. It's done. I simply will not. So many. Why are yearbooks so heavy? Hamtaro, Hamtaro.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Okay, well, that's disappearing into the void. It is done. And I am incredibly sweaty. Uncomfortably sweaty. I think it's time for a short little break. Maybe not lunch, but I need to cool down. There's so much stuff. Hi, I'm back. Took a little break. Changed into some cooler pants because I think that was part of my overheating problem. I could open up that window, but quite frankly, I'm scared of what spiders may be lurking near that window. Well, this is what we're dealing with, folks. All this, and then more over there. My phone is charging, so I'm not gonna lift it off of the charger. I'm gonna start going through half this stuff. I don't think that I'm going to film a lot of that. It's gonna take too long, quite frankly. I will definitely film the end result, and I may film a few clips here and there, a few B-roll clips of me sorting things. We have a lot to get to, especially with resorting this resorting this shelf. But yeah, I'm just gonna get started on this, then make some lunch, show y'all the result, then check in. But I will tell you the game plan generally. A lot of this stuff I know is keep, it just needs to go somewhere else. Like, it needs to be put up in, like, my childhood things that, like, my mom has separate. Some of this stuff is keep, obviously, it just needs to be reorganized, but the other stuff I'm either planning on throwing away if it needs to be thrown away, which is not very much of that stuff, donating or giving away, or selling it. If it's things that I know people are gonna want, like I have a friend who's really into military and spy nonfiction, I'll give those to him, or I'll offer them to him first. But then there's other stuff, and what I'm going to do is put those on apps like Mercari or Poshmark, especially when I get to decluttering my clothes, and just try and make a few extra bucks. If they don't sell within a week or two, I'll take them down and just go donate them somewhere like Goodwill or something. Because I'm not looking to make a profit off of this, but if I can make a few bucks, and someone can find what they're looking for, why not? But we're gonna start going through all this. Wish me luck. Okay, like 10 hours later, and it's still kinda bad. And now is crisis mode because I need to finish cleaning up all of this before I go to sleep tonight. Because, otherwise I'll pretty much have nowhere else to sleep. Except the 5 feet of floor. There's not really much of a plan left for these shelves. I think the tentative game plan that I've come up with is I'm going to put my manga eventually on these two shelves. I don't have that much manga yet, but when I move my manga from home, they're gonna go on these shelves until they're full up. I think this top shelf, for now, is where I'm going to put a lot of my knickknacks, figures, like my Aiden figure from Watch Dogs. He finally has somewhere to sit, and he looks very cool. These are odd spaces on the shelves because they're just so darned big. And it'd be nice if I had like a middle shelf in between it, but also not a big deal that I don't. I think what I'm going to do with this side of the shelf is kind of make it like a favorite shelf. So I'm going to stack up some of my favorites just horizontally and then stack some more on top of them, try and make it as nice a display as I possibly can. This wide guy is going to be my TBR-esque shelf. I have a lot of books on here that I've had for many, many years and have not read yet, but I do still have enough of an interest where I don't want to unhaul them yet. So I'm going to put them for next up to read. I'm going to challenge myself to where I have a year and a half to read them. As you can see, some of these are big guys, so I'm not just going to say a year. I'm going to say at least a year and a half to read these, and then if I don't read them, unhaul it, get rid of it, do something with it. These bottom two shelves down here, I'm thinking of making my nonfiction shelves. I have a lot. You can take the girl out of the history major, you can't take the history major out of the girl. The top shelf of the three bottom shelves, I think, is just going to be general fiction and my video game stack. Kind of same thing for over here. If I need some overflow from nonfiction, they're going to go on these bottom two shelves, otherwise just going to be general fiction. I don't really care, to be honest, about grouping them by genre of fiction right now. I just need this mess kind of organized, at least a lot more organized than what it used to be. And I also brought up some more books from down in the basement. Now, some of these are going to be for sale, getting rid of them, like posters and stuff like that, that's going to be for sale. And other stuff that is going to be for sale. So for right now, all this is what we're working with. It looks worse than what it is, because at least y'all have seen the before clip. You haven't seen the 10 hours since, because I haven't really filmed anything. I'm sure that you can go back and compare to how bad it actually was when I first started. I have done quite a bit of cleaning. I have taken all my super old books, my older classic books, taken them and putting them... I have taken and put them safely in the living room in the closed bookcases. Ma'am. Yikes. Don't laugh at me. Don't do it. But I have actually made some progress. It just took a while because everything was so unorganized and not grouped together that I was taking it piece by piece. I was like, oh, this goes here, and oh, this actually goes in the living room, or this goes here, and this goes there. And now that I have picked and pulled apart a lot of it, I'm beginning to see a lot of it a lot more clearly, and it's been a lot easier to organize. A lot of bits and baubles and pieces I have slowly been able to pick apart from the pile and put away in its proper place, or just frankly get rid of. I've actually thrown a lot more away than... that was correct the first time I said it. It is too late for me to be working this hard. I only have 2 brain cells. I have thrown away a lot more than I expected to, and I'm really proud of myself for doing that. Yeah, I'm gonna stop blabbing and just do it, because I want to go to bed soon. Okay, right away. First problem. Not all these books fit down here. Yay! That's okay. We'll make it work. We'll fix it in post. Or whatever they say. That one's not gonna fit down there, so you know what? The overflow from nonfiction is just gonna be up here. There we go. Or will you fit down here? Nope. Keep it down here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a diddly darn minute. I know I said that the bottom 2 were originally supposed to be for the nonfiction, but then some of these didn't want to fit on the bottom 2 shelves. And so I was like, oh, I'll just stick the ones that are like too big to go anywhere else up on this shelf. And then I just got in the habit and I was like, you know what? Just start sticking them on here. No, Chey. That is only for overflow. Chey. Now that's not looking half bad, if I do say so myself. Which I do. I do say so myself. So, like I said, I think these... Like I was saying, I think these are going to be my general fiction shelves, and then this will be overflow, I guess, for whatever I may need. But it'll probably end up being fiction as well. It really just depends on the size of the books, because some of these books are, like, massive and won't fit on these shelves. Like, that one barely fits. I'm willing to bet this hardback won't. Yeah, hardback won't. It'll fit down here, though. Okay, hi. The stacks over here are mostly gone, which is nice. There's just some Funko Pops and manga over there, which are gonna go on the top shelves. But let me show you what we're working with. I thought I had a lot more books than this. I mean, I can fill up the space if I want to, but a lot of this is just knickknacks that needs to be grouped back together. It looks like a lot because it's all spread out. Now that it's like all being pushed together, it's a lot less than what I thought it was gonna be. But I'm happy with this kind of arrangement right now. I'll figure out more specific arrangements once I can see them all in a place. These are like the starting groupings. Once I get them in a settled spot where I'm like, okay, nonfiction, fiction, to be read, then I can start sorting them into more detailed categories. I don't know why I always speak way too soon. So it's looking a lot better now. Like, actually, like, a lot better. I forgot about one, crucial aspect. I still have all of these to deal with. Staying up all night. If I could find you now, things would get better. We could leave this town and run forever. Let your waves crash down on me and take me away. Don't. I remember the look in your eyes when you told me that this was goodbye. You were begging me not tonight, not here, not now. We're looking up at the same night sky. I keep pretending the sun will not rise. We'll be together for one more night somewhere. Somehow, if I could find you now. That's looking decently well. I need to get the first one of that to read it. I'm gonna get it from the library first. We have these, which I'm kind of putting on a little bit of a classic shelf right here, at least for right now. Okay, this is the last massive haul of the books, and then we're gonna pretty much be done. I'm not even gonna worry about these knickknacks. I'll probably just throw them in a pile or throw them on a shelf for tonight. I don't know. I'll see how much energy I have after putting all these books in their proper spot. But I do have some more which I could move, which it's just most of my Shakespeare collection, but I do have some up there that I might move. Good lovely morning, y'all. I did not finish the end process last night because, to be honest, I didn't end the process last night. I'd say I ended 90% of the process last night. Let me show you what we're working with now. But before I do that, I want to say I am actually super proud of how this shelf has turned out so far. Looks eons better than what it did, because now I know where things are. And also, I think it more so reflects not just my past reading taste, but also more of my current reading taste, which is always nice. Okay, now this is much better. This is what I got finished up last night. Oh my gosh. Much, much, much better. It's still kind of chaotic, especially this poor TBR shelf, but it just lets me know that I need to get cranking on reading. That is kind of why Roadrunner is there, because it's like, girl, speed it up a little. I have Captain Jack Sparrow and a Stegosaurus next to some of my nonfiction books. I thought it was thematic. I've also decided this is going to be kind of my figure shelf for right now. Stuff like my Funko Pops of Supernatural, my really cool figures, my art book, my nostalgic Yu-Gi-Oh merch that I've had since I was a child. I want to display that somewhere, and until I can find more space in my room, which I probably will eventually, I think they're fine sitting up there because I clearly have space to burn. So they're fine up there for right now. What I am very proud of is this. My favorite shelf. Look at her. I love her so much. I just ended up stacking a bunch of books sideways to try and utilize this space as much as physically possible. And I kind of like that it's chaos cluttered, yet with an aesthetic edge. I try to do the outwards facing covers because these covers are gorgeous. I know Name of the Wind comes first, but I like that cover a lot, so I wanted to see it first. But this way I can display my favorites, but also my favorite editions, because look, the special Name of the Wind 10th Anniversary Edition, and then we have the Broken Empire. I forget who published this, I think it was Grim Oak Publishing, but this beautiful edition of the Broken Empire, along with my original paperbacks, and then my hardbacks. Prince of Thorns is still coming in the mail, so once it comes in, it'll sit right here. As for the books on top, no real reason except for I love their covers. Very happy with this. Very happy. No real organization down here except for I kind of decided to make this my classics sort of shelf. Then down here, like I said, we just have my general, no real separation by genre fiction. Now, as you can see, I'm kind of running out of room. So what I think is going to have to happen is that shelf over there, besides video games, is also going to have to house some of my fiction. Or some of my fiction is going to have to move to some of these shelves. I did kind of organize my manga last night. It's looking pretty good. Pretty good. I want to display my Filthy Frank book eventually, but it's just going to sit there for now. I'm also ordering risers from Amazon so that I can double stack them, because there's plenty of space on this shelf to do so, and that way I can actually fit my series all together. I'm very excited about that. But I have been working on this ever since I finished breakfast at like 8 a.m. I got up at like 6:30. Now we're just doing little odds and ends, but it truly is odds and ends. There's not that much left. See, like, we have some figures, we have trash, other figures that are going to go elsewhere in the house, stuff that needs to be put up in storage, stuff that needs to be put up in storage, stuff that I'm considering getting rid of or giving away to friends, light bulbs that don't belong in here, book that I'm putting up, book that I'm selling because I'm in the minority, could not relate, did not like it. This, I once wanted to go through and draw all of my favorite Pokemon once upon a time, and so I marked every single page with some of my favorite Pokemon. So now I'm going to go through and peel all of these out and just have it displayed like a normal person. Book I'm getting rid of, storage, living room, you get the idea. What I do have left to do is organize this down there, because I have all this really nice under my nightstand space, and I barely have anything in that drawer, so what I want to do, what I would like to do with the nightstand, I would like to keep my journals over there, that way they're just next to my bed. I'd also like to keep some basic, really fun graphic novels over there, just stuff that I can grab and read if I don't particularly want to use any brain cells to read. I just want to have a fun time. So, like, let me show you. Like, all the Big Nate books. I own so many of these. Why? I don't know, but I don't have to use a brain cell to read them. They just make me laugh. I also, especially for the bottom, I want to create a sensory/STEM box. There's a channel that I watch on YouTube. I think their name is Megan Rhiannon. I believe. I'll link them in the cards, link them in the description, wherever, and I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing their name. They are autistic and neurodivergent, and I was watching one of their vlogs one time. They were talking about their sensory, like their STEM box, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a great idea. And what it is it's just a box full of items that they can go to when they're in sensory overload, when they're in meltdown, whenever they just need some brain stimulation or need to calm themselves down. And as far as I know, I am not autistic, but I do have severe ADHD and I get sensory overload a lot, particularly when it comes to sounds. And I thought it would be cool for me to make one of those STEM boxes because I probably needed one a long time ago, but better late than never, right? And I think those graphic novels are going to be part of that because it's just something, again, I don't need a brain cell to do. I can just Distractible. Have you listened to Distractible yet? You should listen to Distractible. Not sponsored, but I wish I was. Also, don't ask where I got the giant stop sign. We don't talk about it. I just realized I should kind of go over other bits and baubles too, real quick. This is Donald Duck from Mickey's House of Mouse. This is Goofy from Mickey's House of Mouse. I feel like I dreamed House of Mouse because it seems like no one else in the free world remembers that show, but it was a very, very important part of my childhood. Mickey's House of Mouse. If y'all don't know, look it up. Then down here we have this little 3D printed guy. He is the mascot of an organization I was a part of and still kinda am a part of at Georgetown called the Hilltop Show. Then we have just this picture that I think is hilarious that I got from a thrift store. It's a tombstone that says, "Here lies good old Fred. A great big rock fell on his head. Rip." Then down here in my video game section, we just have on display two of the first ever video games that I ever played on my own system, which the original Driver and SpongeBob SquarePants Super Sponge. Then behind it, I don't know where the cover for this is, that's why it's kind of hidden, but one of my favorite games of all time, Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Hi, editing Chey here because I just realized I never filmed an outro for this video. Whoops. Anyway, the last shots you saw of the bookcase are the state that it is still currently in. I didn't really do much after the last thing that you saw filmed. Now, obviously, this is going to change and grow, especially as I move in and bring more stuff in. But it's such a good start, and I am so proud, and I'm so happy with it. As you can see in the last shots, I did get under my nightstand organized. And after that, I pretty much just packed up my stuff and went home. As you can see, I am now back at home, but I will be going back to Hampshire in a few days to probably start decluttering my clothes. That's not going to be fun, but I'm going to make it fun. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. I hope this video inspired you to do a little decluttering, reorganizing of your own. It can be surprisingly fun once you get into it and realize how much space you can actually free up for new, more fun stuff. But that's enough from me. Again, thank y'all so much for watching. If you ain't heard it from anyone else today, I love you. Love and peace.